Yo, 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 what is going on, CoD Familia? It is your boy BN. Today, we're going to give you a super fast, quick run through, literally, of what is projected to be final matchups for the G2 Winners Upon Us KvK season. We did a day one recap yesterday. We got more groups confirmed today. There, I believe, is 1 to 2 groups that have not been confirmed. One of them, I think, is probably a little bit more sought after than the other, but I'll be showing that all to you today. Along with that, I've ported over all the data to the public version of the sheet, which is here. You can see there's already some people looking at it. I added the Kingdom PvP groups. That's what we'll be going over today. So again, that's been updated. And if you do want to get access to the spreadsheet, you can join the Discord. A link to that's in the pinned comment description down below. Once you join, go to reaction roles. You'll select Call of Dragons, one here in the middle. Then you'll just go here to the Call of Dragons header or title / category. Then you'll go to COD data stats for the channel. It's going to be right here. Open it up, pin it, save it, bookmark it, favorite it. I will be updating it regularly. All right. And as always, if you enjoy the content, make sure you throw us up because that was a lot. Thanks. Okay. 3 or 4 things. Number 1, Fuzzy did confirm with me that I should be getting a full game-wide scan in a day or 2 at the earliest, but definitely before the 16th. So if that happens, I'm going to be super excited. We're going to do some advanced PvP stat breakdowns where we can look at performance data from last season along with current data as well. So it'll be a nice mix. Number 2 is that the data here was me doing it manually. I pulled this between the 6th and the 7th of May. And what I did for Alliance or Kingdom Power, it's just did an Alliance was at 1 billion power or more? If there was 1, that's what got put in. If there was 2 or more, I just added that up and gave the sum total. Then next, I manually looked through how many players were at 60 million and above, 100 million and above, and then 200 million and above, and then we added those numbers in. And then thirdly, yes, is that if there's any notes or if there's any internal situations that are going on within your kingdom that you feel would be nice to know and or may reflect or be in need of having some updated, adjusted numbers, just please feel free to shoot me a DM. 1 or 2 have already reached out. With that being said, let's go ahead and dive in. So first matchup, this one actually has been adjusted and is one of the ones I just referred to, which is that here, and keep in mind, when I'm talking about matchups, we're talking about Final Zone. We're not seeing these matchups in Zone 2 or Zone 3. It's just not really fully possible in the beginning unless you want to talk about going all the way ring around the rosy from the cross Zone 3 passes. But for simplification purposes, we are referring to Final Zone. So RAC numbers have been adjusted, and that is because RAC confirmed that their second alliance, the 33 players or so there that are T5 and above, at 60 million and above, are probably going to be leaving. And or just may not be contributing. Now, if they do, great, teach their own, but I just wanted to show that because I did adjust their power along with the 60 million and 100 million cells here on these columns to adjust accordingly. Given that, now you're looking at about a 3 billion power advantage in favor of BTX team. You have plus 60? 60? 58 T5s in favor of the BTX team, and then you have plus 31 100 mil pluses in favor of the SSG team. So based on these numbers, I actually think the matchup from adjusted on paper, the matchup I actually think is better now. And I don't, not to say I thought it was god awful and just so overwhelming on one side, but I would say the matchup actually appears to be pretty balanced now. Again, on paper, right, for what we know. Let's go to 4035. This is Luno, BDO, NF57, TFS, WB, RG, 4035. We got about plus 3 bill in favor of the TFS team. We have plus 25 T5s in favor of them. And then we have plus, I think, 47, if that's right, 100 mil pluses. So you got 47 100 mil pluses, 3 billion power on one side. You got 25. I would give the edge here because I think there's a little bit more value to be weighted on the amount of 100 mil pluses versus against the power and the total number of T5s to where I would give an advantage in favor of the BDO team here. Again, on paper, as we stayed for Final Zone. 4036 has not been confirmed yet. I did hear that they may do free-for-all up until Zone 3 and then adjust and or form teams for the Final Zone is what I would imagine. But I have not got anything hard confirmed yet. So if this matchup has already been decided, I just haven't been updated. But if you do know what it is, I'd love to hear so I can update the sheet appropriately. However, there's about 116 billion power, 1142 T5s, and 538 100 mil pluses. Next matchup, 4037, we have UHA ATGED versus WGL 25IW BNR. We got about 3 billion more power here on the BNR team. We have 42 more T5s. And then on the other side, we have 63 100 mil pluses. Now, I would, based on those, I think still give an advantage, even if it might be slight to clear somewhere within there, to the UHA team, just based on how that looks at face value. Getting to 4038, we are at 3321 SWBXS versus IWG NWE QOD. We're at about plus 5.2, 5.3 bill in favor of the IWG team. We have plus 19 T5s in favor of the BXS team. And then we have plus 80 100 mil pluses. I would say there's a clear advantage on the BXS team on paper for how that looks. Then we get to 4039. DBB, MFD, POTC versus SG97, LAW, and FG. Here we got plus 5.1, 5.2 bill in favor of the FG team. We have plus 25 T5s in favor of the red team, or the POTC team. And then we have plus 60 more 100 mil pluses in favor of the POTC team. I would argue the more T5s and 100 mil pluses outweigh the 5.2-ish billion power that the blue team has more than. So I would say a clear advantage in favor of the red team here. Then we get to 4040. This is IFAB, HOUW, WAO versus NXW, RNW, HWG. Now, the IFAB team has 3.4, 3.5 billion more power. They have plus 56 more T5s. And they have plus 34 more 100 mil pluses. I would just say, on paper, clear advantage going out to the IFAB team. Then we get to 4041. This has been confirmed as they're going to do a free-for-all up until the final zone, and then they'll do a 2v2v2. I believe teams will be decided based on performance for balance purposes. So I'm actually pretty intrigued by this. I actually think that this is like a great way to do it where, and I'll maybe talk about this more, but I like that they're basically doing something that ensures up to amount of them getting zone 2 action, statue, zone 2, zone 3 statue, and then zone 3 cross, or for the cross zone, in zone 3 fighting statues, zone 3 statue fighting potentially, and then the cross zone 3 passes possibly as well. I mean, it just depends, but it's set up, I think, in a potentially really good way. Then we get to 4042. Here, PTW, AXT versus BEK Laws, EXGPX. Advantage clearly is in favor of the other team. It's double the power, double the T5s. The only category that they don't lead in is the 100 mil pluses. There's plus 13 in favor of the red team. But I would say like that's a pretty heavy, right, in that way. So I would say overwhelming advantage in favor of the blue team. Okay, let's go to 43. Here is the CODKFU versus SPA, SHPZ, and TG. Now, it should be reported that TG has stated that there's probably going to be a decent number, maybe a majority of people that are going to migrate out. That was what was said. So that could happen. Along with SPA and SHPZ did not agree to this matchup. This is something that one of the FU teams told me was the matchup. It was reported by some that the CODKFU team basically came to the Diplo table and said, hey, we're going to team together, but there wasn't any official talks about that or any official post or a majority agreement vote, anything to that factor. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. I'm sure screenshots could easily prove or disprove that, but that is what was stated. As I said before, on paper, this matchup is incredibly balanced. However, if TG opts to migrate out, does that mean they're going to participate? Will they not participate? How long will they participate? I mean, again, I'd have to get a little bit more detail on that because it was just mentioned to me briefly as an overview, so we'll see. Then we get to 4044, which is HTF, AVIC, DTF versus 1UP, GDK95. This is plus 4 bill in favor of the blue team. You got plus 50 T5s in favor of the blue team, but then plus 25 100 mil pluses. I actually think this matchup is pretty balanced. That's what we talk about where we say, look, we'd like one side to have a little more 100 mil pluses, but then the other side with T5s to have more number of T5s than the 100 mil pluses and have some more power. So I personally think this matchup is a lot closer than maybe some may think. That's on paper, right, without knowing any of the inner workings or intangibles. Then we get to 40-45. This is GRZ Uno GDW versus VKG LPG PX. Plus 5.7, right? So we can say a little less than 6 bill for the blue team. We got plus 42 more T5s, and then plus 4 100 mil pluses on the red team. I would argue there is a clear advantage on the blue team. I don't know if I'm going to go mid-level or maybe overwhelming, but I do think there's a clear advantage. Then we get to 40-46. This is Noob Snicks versus Kong TBS, D&D versus ASC. Now, ASC apparently went solo because they didn't want to team up with Kong due to the betrayal stuff that happened last season for what has been reported. So it's basically a 1v2, v3. The blue team obviously clearly now, even if ASC teamed up with Noob or Snicks, which I don't even know if that was a possibility or not, you'd still have numbers advantage, a decent bit in favor of the blue team. Okay. Hopefully they might be able to work something out for the final zone. Now, we get to 40-47. We have ERA BD20 TOC versus AMZ SVR WTF. We have about a bill power differential in favor, a little less than that on the blue team. We got plus, what is this? If I can count, 17 T5s in favor of the red team. And then you have plus 4 100 mil pluses in favor of the red team. I actually think this isn't bad. It could be worse. This is pretty balanced. It's never going to be perfect. It's not going to be sunshines and rainbows, but this is like very small margin of being disproportionate. So I would say this is pretty balanced, and this could be a match I'm looking forward to. Then we get to 40-48. This is the 3 teams of 4, so it's the 3v3v3. We talked about this previously. There we go. That worked out okay. Based on this, I don't think it's that bad. One team, and to make it easier, I'll just remove the cam. When we look at this, the blue team has a lot more power, but the red and the orange team have more 100 mil pluses, even if they don't have more T5 and power. Based on that, I actually think this matchup is a little bit more balanced than people might give it credit for, and I'll be pretty excited to see how the 2v2v2 plays out. 40-49. For this one, I will remove myself. This is PHTM, MIB, HTW, STAK, S2AK, 54RP versus RRR, WAR, SWAG, NWS, IME, and WB. We got plus 8, 7.5 bill in favor of the blue team. Red team plus 7, and then plus 30 on the 100 mil pluses. Now, do I think that having a little more T5 and 2.5 times the amount of 100 mil pluses equals out to the 7.5 bill? Maybe it could. But I would still give, even if it's just a slight advantage, to the red team here. Okay, let's go to 40-50. For this one, I'll keep it down because it's a long one as well. We got GXL, DNM, SHWA, Horde, AG, COTC, CFRA, FTS, WIC, BBO versus VH, NS, DWO, HBX, TGV, PACT, Tepper, PP. They got me again. TBD is who they'll be going up against. So this is, 34-6, 5.5 bill in favor of the blue team. And then we got 27 T5s in favor of the red team, 2 100 mil pluses in favor of the blue team. I would argue this is more balanced than it may look. But maybe because the numbers are lower on the 100 mil plus, I would probably still give a slight advantage to the red team. But I do think this is a lot closer than maybe some may think, at least for how it looks on paper. Then we get to 40-51. This matchup, AW, AFK, HSD, NXSC, RE, OC, CHT, OOC, OOR versus OGC, GTA, EXAL. God, always has to see him joining. DGN, Prop, Dusk, Sin, BLZ for the blue team. We very close. A bill power differential. We got plus 35 more T5s, and then you got plus 17 more 100 mil pluses. I would say clear advantage on the blue team here. And then the last one, which is 40-52, I don't know what the matchup is here. Because like I stated before, the kingdoms here are ones that did not register, but they got placed into this group. So I didn't end up pulling anything from them. But if you know what the matchup is for 40-52, let me know. Slide to your boys' DMs. Thank you. All right, we did this in pretty quickly. Like I shaved off some minutes from the last video. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. As always, if there's any updates you want to give, anything else you think that can be adjusted or accounted for, along with letting me know what you think about the matchups so far, especially the new ones that we announced today, Let us know in the comments below. That's it for me. As always, until next time, I will catch you later.